How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There are a couple things that we have to hit on today. There was a major exchange that halted withdrawals. There is a complaint by the SEC against BlackRock. They fined them. And I want to talk about that, make sense of it. I'm not spreading FUD. I am just telling you what happened and trying to explain why you need to be careful in certain situations. And in other situations, the press just likes to blow things out of proportion. I also want to talk about a holding of mine, a large holding that's down 8% here today. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you can see future videos just like this one, because there are going to be a lot of videos that are time sensitive. We're starting to actually see new people come into crypto, which is fantastic after having such a long period where no one came in. It's so nice to see new people in the comment sections actually giving opinions. So if you are one of those new people, welcome, hit subscribe. Like I said, turn on that bell notification underneath the video. We're going to be here every single day from here on out talking about crypto. And I'm one of the channels that has actually been doing that throughout the entire bear market. I don't just leave when things are rough and then come back. Now, while you're down there, there's a link to Backtracker AI. I'm working on this with a few other people to track all your assets in one place, be able to denominate in cryptocurrency, track better than everything else in the market right now, so you don't have to go back and forth between different apps. And there are going to be a lot of cool features that are going to be specific to cryptocurrency investors, and it's just going to be freaking awesome. Pre-register, put in your name and email, so that way you can get future updates on it. Also, I just got this. This is just a little bit off subject, but I just got this. This is a Tesla Cyberstein. Pretty cool. Just thought I'd throw it in there. If you ever see, a lot of the time Tesla will have like specific sales for just a short period of time. You can get some cool stuff. They have like ATVs, flamethrowers, cyber beers. I have my set right there in the background there. But definitely cool. You can get some pretty cool memorabilia from that. Okay, so let's get into some of the news. In the last 24 hours, Binance halted withdrawals. Now, this is pretty scary for a lot of people because we have had a lot of exchanges halt withdrawals and then never open the withdrawals up again. So that just means everyone that had their crypto on just lost it, or it's going through a lengthy court process. Now, a lot of the time, it's because they can't actually cover the withdrawals that are coming out. We've seen a lot of Bitcoin be taken off exchanges. This includes Binance. So a lot of people thought maybe this is Binance not being able to cover the amount of withdrawals that they had. Maybe they made stupid investments. They did something like what FTX did. They took money from one place, put it in another, and then lost it. Maybe they went short against investors and then the market ran away from them, stuff like that. However, this was opened up. Withdrawals were opened up about an hour later. Now, I think this is a good reminder to take your cryptocurrency off of exchanges. I did a little promotion for Trust Wallet in the last couple days or a week ago. They're a hot wallet where you can put your crypto on it. It's completely free. MetaMask is something similar. You should check out those different wallets. Also, you can put your cryptocurrency on something like Trezor if you want a safer device that's a little bit harder to access. This you do have to pay for, but I have a link for 15% off underneath the video. Putting your cryptocurrency on something like this gives you options because they won't halt withdrawals. They don't have access to do that compared to Binance. And the thing is, even if you don't think Binance is going to go down, you have to realize there are times where they halt withdrawals. Coinbase shut down a couple days ago because they couldn't handle the influx of people trying to use the app and buy cryptocurrency because the price was moving up so fast. So if you keep your cryptocurrency on a hot wallet or cold wallet, you can send it wherever is working if there's a price jump. Let's say we go from $100,000 on Bitcoin up to $150,000, a quick wick up. There might be a lot of apps that go down, and that sounds crazy right now. But if there's some multi-billion-dollar buy and there's not much Bitcoin on the exchanges, we could move up pretty quickly. Now, I'm not saying 100,000 to 150,000. I shouldn't say that, but like 100,000 to 115,000. If you want access to be able to buy or sell, you probably need it withdrawn from the major exchanges, and then you can put it into whatever cryptocurrency exchange you know is working at that time. So just be careful out there. That scared the crap out of so many people. Now, Bitcoin dominance is moving up. We're at 54.25%. As I've said, you're probably sick of hearing it. I think dominance will move up. I've been saying that this whole time. And we continue to see massive wicks up. I mean, just this week, we went from 52 to 54%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a huge move on Bitcoin dominance. As I've said, I think we could see some resistance around this 57% mark. I am looking at buying alts right now. I am. Whether it is with fresh money or whether it's divesting from Bitcoin a bit into altcoins, which I know sounds crazy, but they should move up relative to Bitcoin as well. I'm looking at buying those. Now, I'm not buying them yet, but I am looking at it. We have seen some prior support around 57%, so I think we could see some resistance. And when we look at this trend line too that we've been bouncing off of and run that into this prior support, we're looking at the April to May timeframe. So we could see dominance kind of just trail off, maybe hit here and then get rejected around the Bitcoin halving. A lot of people putting money into Bitcoin ahead of that. A lot of people putting money into Bitcoin ahead of the ETF. We could see the price spike up and alts move as well, but then it kind of just trends sideways and then gets rejected. And then we have the massive altcoin rally. A lot of that will depend on the price of Bitcoin though. So I'm just giving you a heads up. I know this is kind of contrary to what I've been saying for a long time, that I was going heavy on Bitcoin, but eventually the dominance is high enough, you probably want to invest in altcoins. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to take all my Bitcoin and invest in altcoins. I'm still going to probably keep the majority of my portfolio in Bitcoin, but I'm like 90% Bitcoin right now. So again, I might want to invest into some of the top layer ones and layer twos for the next Bitcoin bull run, next crypto bull run, and look at some of the let's say gaming cryptos, DeFi, that kind of stuff. Now, as I said in the title, this is not good. First of all, I was referring to Binance halting withdrawals. Second of all, we have news the SEC is charging BlackRock with failing to disclose investments. Now, this seems scary. It does. Let's go to the full story here. Let's see if it's really as bad as they say. The SEC charged BlackRock investors for failing to properly disclose investments that comprise a significant portion of publicly traded fund it advises. This is in accordance to an SEC statement released today. In particular, the investments are in the entertainment industry. Now, a lot of people think that this is in regards to cryptocurrency because BlackRock said that they were going to start buying Bitcoin, seeding their fund. A lot of people thought that it was because BlackRock started to get the, what is it called, a cuspid, and then also they got listed on the DTCC, which is something that works with the NASDAQ. So a lot of people thought that this was in regards to crypto, failing to disclose maybe crypto investments, but it's in the entertainment industry, and this is just a $2.5 million fine. A very small amount for a company the size of BlackRock, and it has nothing to do with crypto. So while some people think, wow, this is not good, well, that's just misinformation. That's misunderstanding what's actually happening. You know, a lot of media outlets try to cause panic just to get views. So just make sure that you dive a little bit deeper and follow this channel if you want to know what's actually happening. Now, BlackRock ETF ticker was removed on the DTCC website, and there's such a huge number of people trying to go verify this to make sure that it actually got taken down that the traffic broke the server essentially. Now, since then, it got relisted. So maybe there's just some confusion about it, or they had to take it off for some reason or another, but got right back on there, which is like a precursor to being listed on the NASDAQ. And then also ARK Invest also got listed on the DTCC. So more and more companies that have are going to have spot ETFs are now being listed. So this is a good next step. Now, the last thing I want to cover before covering a stock that did not do well in a lot of people's eyes, New York City bathhouse uses Bitcoin mining to heat the water in the spa and pools. Pretty cool, the ways that you can use Bitcoin mining. I just thought this was interesting. And I did want to say too, I have a sponsor coming up here soon that makes heaters for your house that also mine Bitcoin. So I just wanted to give you a little heads up on that. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to get one and try it out here in the next few days. I think I'm getting it. So it might be a few weeks before the video's up, but be on the lookout for that, because that will be a fun video to shoot for sure. And it might be something that you might be interested in. I know I'm finishing off my garage so that way I can work out in it during the winter, and I need a heater. So maybe I'll use that Bitcoin miner of all things. Now, the last thing that's not good. Now, of course, like I said, this actually wasn't good. Exchanges halting withdrawals. This was just a not misinformation, but a lot of people misunderstood this. BlackRock failing to disclose investments, being charged by the SEC. This is not good for investors, at least in a lot of people's minds. Google had their earnings yesterday, and they're falling down 8.4% here today. Why is this? There's one major reason. Their cloud revenue growth slowed down. So last quarter, they're growing 28% year over year. Now they're growing 22% year over year. In a lot of people's minds, this is the fastest growing part of their business. This is hugely negative. I will say, though, there are some bright spots. This is one of my largest holdings, by the way, in the stock market portfolio I have. First of all, they did have record revenue. So this was a huge quarter for them. We're talking $69 billion in revenue. They had a record quarter in terms of cash flow. Free cash flow was $16.08 billion. And even when you account for stock-based compensation, which is something that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to, it's a record quarter. When you take out stock-based compensation, it looks at really how much the company is returning to you, because you kind of have to, when employees get paid in stock-based compensation, it's essentially like getting paid in cash, just they're getting paid in shares. So you really should take that out of free cash flow. And this is the first quarter in 12 quarters that we actually saw stock-based compensation fall down. So I think this is something that we should pay attention to with Google, because they are a company that pays a significant amount in stock-based compensation. They're also able to buy 0.5% of their shares back off the market. So that's why we can have a record quarter in EPS, $1.55, and not quite have a record number in net income. So overall, I think this was a negative thing that they obviously are decelerating cloud revenue, but YouTube's growing faster. They're actually re-accelerating. The ads business is doing extremely well. We're not having Bard bite into their business, into Google's business. And we actually have seen Azure, or Microsoft's cloud, actually continue to re-accelerate growth. Their revenue grew 29% year over year. And this was after several quarters of deceleration. So we could see Google do the exact same thing with the cloud. And we actually saw a positive free cash flow quarter from the cloud as well. So overall, I am not super pumped about Alphabet's earnings, but I think that they're not as bad as they could be. And I might be a buyer here soon, especially at a 18 forward price to earnings ratio and a free cash flow stock-based a stock-based compensation free cash flow yield of 3.17% with $106 billion of net cash on their balance sheet too. I think this is a pretty attractive time to be buying, at least if you're looking years out. Of course, anything can happen in the short term. And I was a buyer in the 80s, in the 90s, and the 100s. So buying now, obviously I'm buying higher, but it is a pretty good long-term outlook in my opinion. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if you want me to keep on covering stocks like this here today, cover some of the top news, or if you want me to stick mostly to crypto, if that's what really interests you. I can take it. I can take what you think down in the comments. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't cover stocks in the future, but I'm curious your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.